Everybody, good morning. Sorry it's taken so long to get back to you guys, give you an update on the second month of my trucking investment. I've been basically, since I've been paid, I've been on vacation since then. So this is the first I've had the opportunity to get time to make a video. So I guess to cut to the point, you guys saw last month, I think I made $2,300-ish. This month was a little bit better, as I expected. I think the total came out to be $2,782. I'll put a screenshot of my bank statement here. I'm excited to see that it improved a little bit, and I think now that averages out to about $2,500 a month. So if we can keep that up, it's going to be a pretty quick pace to make ROI. Quicker we get to ROI, is quicker I actually make a return on this. So I'm excited to see that. Excited to see, if it continues to grow. I know in trucking there's going to be ups and downs. So basically, if we can get a good average, that's really all that matters. I want to address a few things. So some of you guys had some really great comments in the past videos. The first one, I actually had a conversation with a guy that watched the video, and we had some back and forth and talked on the phone for a little bit. And he was interested in looking at trucking automation. I talked to a few different companies, and he ended up looking at TED a little bit. And right now, I think they have a few of the lease purchase options available, and they're actually putting more trucks on that, and I think that's actually the best deal. But they're really trying to sell the option 3, which is where you purchase your own truck. And what I didn't realize, and I went back to look at this after he mentioned it, so their option 3, you purchase a truck and you're basically responsible for all the expenses. You're responsible for paying the driver, you have an insurance, a deduction, you have fuel, maintenance, everything. And what I thought before was that, your split with them was at the bottom line. So if that truck, had a hard month, it was down and it didn't make any money, TED or their company is called Truckwise now. They're a combined company. So Truckwise, they would also take the hit if you didn't make any money at the end of the month. But that's actually not true. What option 3 is set up to do is take off the top line. So they take their, I think it's a 75-25 split. So they're going to take 25% off of the top line revenue for that truck every month, irregardless of what the expenses are. So your truck could make $30,000 in a month. They're going to take 25% of that, and then you're left to pay the bills and yourself with the leftovers. And I know in trucking, that's kind of typically how a lease-on agreement works with an owner-operator. But as an investor, that made me sad a little bit to hear that they were taking off the top line and not the bottom line. And maybe they're doing that to cover themselves while this is just getting up and going. If I was to make that option 3 investment and I had the money to do that, it would make me feel more confident knowing that when I lose, they also lose, and when I win, they also win. Right now, they're always going to win, and you may or may not win at the end of the month. And that was the kind of interesting thing that got brought up, and I thought I should make you guys aware if you're interested in looking at TED for their trucking investment. The second question I got that I thought I should address is financing. So I didn't pay for this in cash. I could have thrown my life savings into this. I had that money, but I didn't want to use it for something like this. The common saying goes, like, use other people's money to invest. and that's what I did. You guys can Google up credit card stacking, business credit stacking, and that's essentially what I did. I took a course on how to make sure my credit was what's the right word for it? Make sure my credit looked great to a bank. I had to start a business. That was pretty easy. Use like Inkfile. There's a ton of other companies that in like a day you can have a company set up or business set up. But essentially, I took a course and I made sure, I learned a lot. I learned how banks look at credit, how you can use and repair credit. And so a lot of business credit cards offer a 0% introductory period. And the one I used was from Chase. It was a 1 year of 0% interest. And I think I got approved for like $75,000. And so I put this entire thing on that credit card, and it'll be 0% interest for a year. And essentially at the end of that year, I'll apply for another 0% interest credit card at a different bank and balance transfer that over for the remainder of the ROI. So I'll essentially pay zero interest, theoretically, if I do everything correctly on that money. Is that repeatable? It depends on how much you can get from each bank, and it's just a lot of work. It's a lot of work setting up accounts and applying, and but for 0%, I think that's worth it. There's only so many times you can do it. There's only so many 0% cards you can do unless you start a new business each and every time. There's a lot to it. If anyone's interested, I can point you in the right direction. I used a company called First Fund. They weren't really cheap. I paid a good amount of money to take their course and be a part of their network. But again, I think that money was worth the learning and the knowledge to make this happen. So also someone asked about the monthly reports. So I'm gonna step aside and hopefully put a screenshot of the report here. So the first month, they basically it wasn't a very official report. It was like an Excel spreadsheet that said it had all 10 trucks and it had the revenue each week for each truck. And then it broke it down into the total weekly revenue, the total monthly revenue, and then the 10% that each investor gets. That breakdown's pretty easy. But this past month, it was a little bit more watered down. They didn't have a weekly breakdown of each truck. They just had a weekly breakdown of all 10 trucks. So it would come in between 60 or high 50s to the $70,000 range for the gross revenue of for that week of those trucks. And then they would add that all together and then spit out a number for your 10% at the end of the month. And then they have, a kind of a cumulative, like last month we paid this month we paid this, here's your total for the year. And as time goes on, that will fill out, that total will grow. I would assume that if you're in the lease purchase or the truck ownership, the option 3, they're gonna have a more precise breakdown of costs. They're gonna tell you exactly how much your driver got paid, how much you paid in insurance, how much maintenance, what the maintenance costs were. If I said fuel, any other expenses are gonna be accurately reported, I would hope. And they've actually if you go on Ted's YouTube channel, they put out an update for May, and they included some of the payout numbers for the option 2 lease purchase trucks. They don't provide you what that report looked like, and you'd have to talk to them about more details on that. But they are being pretty transparent. They're doing exactly what I'm trying to do and just put it out there, let everyone know like, hey, this is real, and it's working so far. So that's that. Again, please ask questions in the comments. I'll do my best to get back to you directly, or address them in future videos. Yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.